going on, guys? Minutes with Mellon. Hit that like and subscribe button to all you one viewers out there. It's going to be a really short video today because we got the Northern Lights going on, so we got to see that. This one is about how they're just now starting to investigate all the missing ballots in 2020 election. And they pull up this graph on the PBD podcast, and you can see all of a sudden at 3 in the morning, like Trump's killing Biden, and then all of a sudden Biden gets fucking like 300,000 votes out of nowhere. So, yeah, we're just gonna watch that real quick. We're just gonna burrow right in.
Kimberly Zapata, guilty of official misconduct and election fraud charges. Let that sink in, everybody. They're doing fraud in Wisconsin and having her obtain fake absentee ballots. Zapata had claimed she was trying to expose the vulnerabilities in Wisconsin's elections. She was saying, Tom, that she was a whistleblower. She was sentenced last week to probation and a $3,000 fine. So this goes to Peter Berniger. He's like one of the biggest voices right now, Pat, that's involved with this whole case. He's an independent investigative journalist and president of Election Watch Incorporated. He has brought 18 lawsuits against election clerks and offices in the state court. He tweeted this yesterday. Rob, can you go to the tweet? He tweeted, Claire Woodall Vogue fired. She is, parentheses, was the most corrupt election clerk in Wisconsin. I took her sworn deposition in a lawsuit I filed against her as Milwaukee City election clerk. She printed, and listen to what he's saying. She printed 64,000 ballots in the back conference room of City Hall, room 501, for the November 3rd, 2020 election. She had city employees and other CTCL fill up some of those on the 4th, 6th, and other floors of City Hall. Then kicked out observers around 10 to 10:30 p.m. on November 3rd. Then brought a large amount of ballots at 1:15 a.m. on November 4th. Okay, now, Tom, if you, can you go back to the letter the email? This is an email that he posted.
Can you zoom in, Rob, with this?
Yeah,
this is November 4th, 2020.
Yes, and this is an email of Claire on election night joking about delivering the margin needed to flip the state to Trump. Yeah, so Tommy, check this out. So this is an exchange her coworker Ryan Chu from Election Group said to Claire, "Damn, Claire, you have a flair for drama, delivering just the margin needed at 3 a.m. I bet those votes counted at midnight and just wanted to keep the world waiting." Now, if you go, Robbie, go to that chart. If you guys compare this timestamp to the email exchange and take a look at the graph timeline, Milwaukee had a 140,000 ballot dump around the same time, which statistically favored Joe Biden and pushed him ahead. That's right around that time. If you see at the bottom, that's 6, and that's going back to 4 o'clock. So, just so you guys know the vote totals, Biden was 1,630,866.
Oh, so it's important for you to show. Hang on one second.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at, Rob, stay on that. So what you're saying is the blue that's climbing with the red is Trump. Trump is ahead.
Yep.
Blue is behind. And boom, at 4 a.m., that hockey stick up is what caused him to win.
It spikes. Yeah, it spikes. And now, where's my second part?
And this chart is from Edison Research. So this... Wow.
Yeah, well, everybody does remember that night. You don't remember that night? Everybody went to sleep. Everybody was like, yo, Trump is going to win. And then, boom, that jumped up. So now the same guy, the Berniger guy, and I have, Rob, you have the letters that I sent you? This is... Berniger.
Zoom in a little bit, Rob, if this is the one, Vinny.
So, yes, sir. This is Pete Berniger. This is him claiming this, that this is a letter from... Sheriff Dar Leaf, the Honorable, he's sending this to Scott Perry, the dear congressman. He says, please be advised, Sherry's office has an open investigation for several years related to the election law violations. My office recently reviewed the evidence related to this investigation that requires immediate review from Congress. And this is what he says. I'm attaching documents directly from Dominion voting systems that demonstrate lack of truthfulness and transparency when testifying before Congress in January 2020 following the January 20 hearings. Congress specifically requested information from Dominion regarding the percentage of Chinese parts that are used in the Dominion brand election equipment. Dominion failed to disclose to Congress. Disclose to the motherboard in the election equipment is not only sourced from China, but it is tested in China. And you could go on to read that. Now, the next one, Rob, is the Georgia.
So for those of you who don't know, the Dominion voting machines, you can hack them in like 10 seconds with a ballpoint pen. There's a tiny little button in the back. You put the pin in it, you hold it down, and then it goes into like a super user mode or maintenance mode type thing. And then you can just completely wipe the entire machine. So if, say you had a bunch of people that came in, you know they voted for Trump. At the end of the night, you could just, in 10 seconds, wipe that whole machine, and nobody would be able to tell. That Wolfson Finance dude, he did a really good video on it.
Georgia one.
Wait, can you zoom in there? What else is in the letter? Zoom in a little bit more.
I can read the whole thing.
The desire to zoom in and hide this information from Assistant Director FBI Counter has stated China's manufacturing can be perfect. So again, additionally, testing and modifications are taking place in China on Dominion brand firmware from HP printer provided by Dominion to local clerks. Dominion further failed to disclose to Congress that Dominion employee Andy Huang, formerly from the Chinese Telecom, which is owned by the Chinese Communist Party, was given authority and access to reset the servers on U.S. election equipment remotely from Canada. As you know, the FCC issues orders to show cause on April 24, 2020 against China's telecom, stating there is a deep concern as to the vulnerability to the exploitation, influence, and control of the Chinese Communist Party, given they are subsidiaries of Chinese state-owned entities.
And the last page says, unfortunately, the national security concern continues. Dominion failed to disclose the use of Huawei phones utilized in the Serbian employees, the same Serbian employees remoting into the U.S. election system during the U.S. elections. Now, the second one, Robbie, is that video from Georgia. Georgia State Elections Board held an important hearing 2 days ago. Fulton County double scanned ballots, and they didn't keep the required ballot images as required by Georgia law. 380,000 ballot images are missing in Fulton County, and this is them at the board. Go ahead, Rob, play that.
Does the investigation confirm that there are missing ballot images?
Yes. Missing. Weird.
Do you know why 380,761 ballot images from Election Day machine count are not available?
What?
We subpoenaed Fulton County for all of their ballot images. We received approximately 518,000 ballot images.
From Election Day?
Those are for the recount.
Those are from the recount, but we have no ballot images for 380,761 ballots from Election Day, correct?
Rob, go to the audio and lower a little bit on that.
What was subpoenaed was the ballot images for the recount because that's what this case was about, not the Election Day.
This is...
Does Fulton County know why there are not 380,761 ballot images from Election Day?
She's asking the same question?
Same again to somebody else. To somebody else, PBD.
As with the investigators, we have not been apprised of this allegation. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I have no idea what the basis of that allegation is, and so we would have to. We can't answer that.
We can't answer that. So no accountability.
Would Fulton County agree that every vote should have a ballot image?
So, and PBD,
Are you kidding? This is when?
This is 2 days ago. And mind you, guys, and I'm gonna say again, this guy, Peter Barnago, he has 18 lawsuits against them. They're literally claiming that the proof is in the paper ballots, but this is a way longer video, and they're refusing to let anyone see. So the fact that that girl from this is Wisconsin, this is Georgia. These are all those key places, and now it's 2024. All this stuff is coming to light. Is it too late? Is anything gonna happen, Tom?
So let me ask if I'm going to summarize.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I understand what you just said.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have all the ballots that come through digital.
Yes.
There's supposed to be an image of all those
Yes, sir.
ballots.
Yes.
Sort of as rather than having all the paper ballots sitting around, they have digital images of all votes counted.
Correct.
When they did the recount, They suddenly can't find images for over 300,000
80,000.
votes.
Yeah.
Votes.
Yeah.
So they can't validate the recount by going one-to-one image, vote Biden, image, vote Trump, back and forth. They can't do that. And the board is asking multiple questions, and people are actually giving bad answers. No, we don't have it, with no explanation. Is that what I just saw?
That's exactly what you just
So
saw.
Georgia cannot validate with its own law requirement to have images of all those ballots. They cannot validate the recount.
You saw it right in
They
front
can
of
only use the digital numbers.
That's what he just said.
Yeah, so that, no, he's verifying. No, it's unbelievable.
I get it, but what I'm, this is, so what are your thoughts on this, Adam? You're hearing this.
That's insane. And it's not just there. It's all the key states like Michigan and Georgia and all, just, it's ridiculous. But yeah, just to prove how much more of a piece of shit Biden is. So if you Google executive orders that Trump signed, and then in the first week of office, Biden overturned them or revoked them. Look at the ones that he revoked. Revocation of Presidential Actions. The following presidential actions are revoked. Executive Order 13925. Preventing online censorship. So Biden wants to continue censoring. Just pretty much the same thing they did with COVID. They censored any doctor who spoke out against COVID. Protecting American monuments, memorials, and statues, and combating recent criminal violence. So not only does he want to not protect monuments, but he also wants the criminal violence to continue. And building and rebuilding monuments to American heroes, he revoked that as well. Rebranding foreign aid, which, if you remember, Trump went to NATO and was like, why aren't you guys paying your fucking bill? And there was a big uproar about it. It's like his second day in office. So he's basically saying, like, we're going to back out of NATO because this is bullshit. Well, we're paying for everything. Well, we're done doing that. So yeah, he revoked that one. Building the National Garden of American Heroes. Like, who does that? Trump wanted to do something nice for American heroes. And Biden revoked it. Like, what a piece of shit. Protecting Americans from overcriminalization through regulatory reform. Like, just unbelievable, the shit that he does. So I was like, there's no way. So I looked one of them up. Building and rebuilding monuments to heroes. Like, if you read through it, now it's federalregister.gov. It's a .gov website. Like, Trump really had a good executive order. And you know, Donald Trump at the bottom. And it's revoked. Like, Biden might be the most worthless fucking president ever to exist. But yeah, it just keeps on coming.